40 years ago, as just a wee teenage lad, I made one of the best decisions of my life. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel. Welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast number 291. This is the one about foundational wisdom, insights from Sifu Inosanto and Sifu Fong. And yes, Bill saying that's more AI titling for you. As you're logging in, if you'd be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the broadcast. If you're catching the simulcast over on the YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the Inosanto, about the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast. All right, so let me show you something. So this is, can we get a light on it? Okay, so this is my notes from last weekend seminar, right? So right here at the beginning is where Sifu Inosanto said this, right? It was a rhetorical question, I guess. He says, is today's U.S. Army the original U.S. Army of George Washington? Okay, so obviously it's right there at the start of my notes. It wasn't the first thing he said in the seminar, but it was pretty early on. It was actually the first thing I wrote down before I started writing down any drills or what have you. It's a simple enough question, but it captures the essence of the decades-long debate surrounding the evolution of martial arts in general and Jeet Kune in particular. What Sifu Inosanto is talking about is stagnation. And we all remember what Bruce Lee said about flowing like water, yes? And we all know what is said about stagnant pools of water, yes? Okay, now, here's what you gotta keep in mind. Inosanto is a consummate educator. And so in looking up stuff, in doing research for today, I came across this quote from Jean-Baptiste de La Salle, patron saint in the Catholic religion, patron saint for teachers of youth. And remember, Inosanto was a high school teacher, right? And so the quote is, teachers who are not actively involved in the learning process themselves force their students to drink from stagnant water. You want me to read it again? Teachers who are not actively involved in the learning process themselves force their students to drink from stagnant water. I should bloody well just end the broadcast right there. 3 minutes, we're done. I don't need to say anything else, do I? But I will continue. So right there is the wisdom contained in Inosanto's rhetorical question, okay? And it's a key to understanding his perspective. So like I just mentioned, Inosanto was a high school teacher, but before that, he was a high school and a college athlete. And he was coached, and if you've been, like my good friend Ron Goldstein is on here, so Ron will be able to relate to this. If you're around Inosanto for any period of time, you're going to hear him talk about Coach Amos Alonzo Stagg. Now, if you go on Wikipedia, the list of innovations that Stagg made in sports is 32 lines long. Over 50 people, 50 players, right? 50 athletes who played under Stagg became head coaches themselves. And more than 10 of his assistant coaches also became head coaches as well. So this is the kind of person that's influencing Inosanto as a young man. He leaves college, goes into the Army. He's a paratrooper in the 101st Airborne Division, aka the Screaming Eagles, as well as being a member of the Strategic Army Corps. Now, if you don't know anything about those units, here's my suggestion. look them up and find out a little bit about the 101st Airborne and the Strategic Army Corps and what it goes in, what you have to be like in order to be a member of those two groups. Okay, I suggest you look them up. So, with this kind of real world experience, it is not surprising that one, Inosanto makes so many military and sports references in his talks, but I think it's kind of an indication of why he might have been so drawn to Bruce Lee in 1964, because I think he probably saw the innovativeness of an Amos Alonzo Stagg, and he probably also saw the tenacity of like a well-schooled military officer. So Inosanto's comparison between Washington's army and modern day U.S. Army, it's kind of like a highlight of how institutions and even practices must evolve to adapt to changing circumstances, right? So in the same vein, martial arts, including Jeet Kune, should not remain, let's use the expression, frozen in time. Because to do that is like trying to fight a today battle with tactics from centuries past. Now, understand this. Evolution in Jeet Kune does not negate its roots, nor does it negate the contributions of Bruce Lee. All right, let's get that straight. Instead, I think it honors the foundation and the founder by staying true to the core principles, but it allows for growth and adaptation. Now, I know that we have people who will hear this podcast, watch this podcast or whatever, and they will immediately say that even though it's different eras, combat is still combat, and human beings still pretty much have two arms and two legs. And that's true, but that is true only in the macrocosmic aspect. In the microcosm, it's important to keep up with the times because these same human beings, their tactics, their strategies, their equipment, that changes. So imagine the US Army thinking, well, we won against Germany and Japan, so we don't need to update anything that we've ever done. We can probably win any other battle that we get into. See? Because we won already. And combat is combat. And human beings are not going to be anatomically different. So the humans that we beat, German and Japanese, anybody else comes up, we can beat them again. Right? So that's Inosanto. Now, Sifu Francis, it was pretty early on too, where I wrote, shoot, now I can't even get my finger to it. It was pretty early on after a bunch of drills of his, right? And then he said, when someone says to me, that's not Wing Chun, I say yes. When someone says to me, that is Wing Chun, I say yes. Right? So Sifu Francis's words are an immediate challenge to rigid dogma. And I think they also illustrate the be water my friend aspect of Bruce Lee's famous quote, right? And so to me, that's not surprising because Wing Chun is to a certain degree, and perhaps even a large degree, where Jeet Kune comes from. So saying yes in both instances, that's not Wing Chun. Yes. That is Wing Chun. Yes. Saying both in both instances underscores that Wing Chun, like its cousin Jeet Kune, is not a fixed, unchanging entity. You with me? Instead, it's a living and evolving discipline. So the yes acknowledges that practitioners can explore variations. And if you think that there are not variations in Wing Chun, you don't know. Okay? I suggest you seek out Adam Chan, among other people, but Adam Chan's podcast and what have you, you should definitely listen to that. So the acceptance of innovation is crucial in both Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun in order to remain relevant and effective in contemporary context, right? So think about that, right? This acceptance of innovation is crucial in allowing, I'll read it this way. This acceptance of innovation is crucial in allowing Wing Chun to remain relevant and effective in contemporary context. Like do what I just did seconds ago. Replace Wing Chun with Jeet Kune Do, sentence still makes sense. It still reads the same, right? But I love Sifu Francis's approach, and I think I'm going to steal it from my JKD discussions. That's not Jeet Kune Do. Yes. That is Jeet Kune Do. Yes. Right? But seriously, on the surface, it's a verbal stop hit. Okay? Which is good enough. But I think if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find that it is also an encouragement for dialogue and to push mutual respect among martial arts practitioners. Okay, so what say you? Do any of Inosanto or Fong's insights resonate with you, one more so than the other, or equally? And how do you incorporate the idea of adaptability and innovation into your own JKD practice? Okay, please let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all I got to say about this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods. At paypal.me/UnifiedMA Miami. The Jeet Kune Do Journey Volume 1 is available. paypal.me/UnifiedMA Miami. You can support me at jkdrebel.com. Click on the Rebel Gear link, and that's where you'll see stuff like this. The JKD Notables t-shirt, also available as coffee mug and hoodie and sweatshirt and all that good stuff. Kind of like that. Okay. Somebody had asked me about the picture, so let me indulge you for a second. So if you can see this clearly, I don't know if the whole thing comes out. Maybe I got to go like this. Okay, right? So up there, I don't know if this is your far left or your far right, but that's teenage me with Inosanto. That's the first picture I ever posed with him. And then that's us last weekend in Georgia. And then this is that the other one is during session with Sifu Francis. And then that's us from last weekend as well. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Ron and I were supposed to be in LA originally this weekend, and I never changed it on my calendar. So I don't actually have someone scheduled to be with me on the Jeet Kune Do dialogue. So what I thought I'd do, still log on at 6 p.m. And I got more quotes from the seminar. And I'll share those with you and share some other ideas. And we can do another open panel, open Q&A, whatever it is that you call it, right? So that's still on Friday at 6 p.m. Okay, all right. Today is an indigo day, and that's the shirt. So I'll see you on Friday at 6 p.m. If not, I'll see you next week for another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. Until then, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Talk soon.